Wow, my hair is not cooperating today, and I don't care. I'm still doing this video. Just don't care. That's gonna bother me so much. Okay, so for today, we're gonna do my favorite makeup of 2017. I am gonna go through all the categories that you apply your face with, and I'm just gonna tell you what I thoroughly enjoyed using this year, what I always went back to, why, and why I love them. So if you are interested in to see what my favorite makeup products of 2017 were, then just keep on watching. For primers, I don't have many favorites. I don't actually tend to use primers that much. I do use them in videos, but for my day-to-day, I actually like using moisturizer more than I like using primer. One that has stuck with me, and I'm almost done, and I use it in every video, so you're gonna know what it is, but this is the No Pore Problem Primer by Touch in Sol. I like this because it's cheap and it works, and that's kind of all I have to say about it. I think really what it comes down to is I just haven't found my favorite primer. I used to love the Laura Mercier Radiance Primer, and I haven't bought that in years, so maybe I should just go back to that. But if you have a favorite primer, please let me know down below and tell me what you like. Okay, so for foundations, I have a few, and I have a few seasonal ones, right? Because I live in Canada, and there are 4 seasons in Canada, so you go from being really tan in the summer and having a great time to being like pretty cold in the fall and you lose your tan. Then you go to misery in the winter, and it's actually insane. I really can't even describe to you how awful winter is in Quebec specifically. I live in Montreal, and oh my god. So for different seasons, I use different foundations. I don't have one that I use all year round. I'm hoping that my favorite one that I'll talk about in a minute will be the one that I can just use for every season, because I have yet to find that. I'll start with summer because summer is a drugstore. So my favorite foundation for the summer is my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. I love this. It's 24-hour foundation. It does last a long time, and it has a dewy finish, and it's from the drugstore, and I just really like this foundation. Next is my go-to when I am going out, or I have a special event, or I'm going to a wedding, or something that I just need to feel very snatched but also just confident, and I think that this foundation is the best that I've ever used. And I will also say that on clients, this is the universal foundation that looks good on everyone, and that is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I think I've been using this for probably 6 years now, and it's very expensive, but nothing beats it. And every time you kind of lose touch with it and you come back to it, it's just there, and you're just like, wow, I love this foundation. For myself, I also only use this for special events, special occasions, because it's expensive and I don't want to waste. I also don't need to use this all the time now, because I found a foundation that I think I can say confidently is my favorite foundation ever. Out of all the years I've worn makeup, this is the best foundation ever, and that is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. I can't believe I waited so long to buy this, because it's the best. If I were your friend and you needed makeup advice, and often my friends are like, can you just take me to Sephora and shop with me? And I say, sure. And if we were there and you're like, I need a foundation, I would say this. It really is, as cliche as it is, your skin but better, and that's their slogan, and I 100% agree. I can use 3 layers of this and it still looks like I'm wearing skin. I'm wearing it right now. You can see, it just looks like skin. It has SPF 50, which is amazing, and I love it, and I'm going to talk about it till I'm blue in the face, so I'm going to stop. But this is the best foundation of my year, and hopefully next year and the next year and the next year, because it's just so good. I wish there was more shade ranges. There isn't, and I'm really sorry for that, and if I could change that, I would, but I can't, and I'm sorry. But anyway, this stuff, the best. Concealers, easy. I use it all the time. It is the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I have tried the Becca one. I don't like it. It really caked up. I have the Nars one, and I hate it. I'm sorry. I hate the Nars, the liquid one. I'm going to try the pot one, but I hate the Nars liquid one. But this just works. I have dry skin. I have a bit of crepey under eyes, and This doesn't settle in them. I can set it and it will last all day, and it's affordable. And I can have a few shades of it because sometimes I have a spray tan and sometimes I'm very pale, so I go between medium and sand. But they have the lasting power. They have my heart. This is my favorite foundation concealer of the year. So next thing I would do in my routine is I would set my concealer after I use it, and for that I use the RCMA No Color powder, right? No Color powder. Yeah. And I'm almost done. I've had it for probably a year and a half, 2 years maybe 2 years now. And I haven't used it all. It's $12. In my opinion, it is the best setting powder ever. Or I've ever used. And I have dry skin. So if I had oily skin, I would say the Laura Mercier one is the best because it's really good at absorbing oil. So if you have oily skin, try that one. But if you have dry skin, this one is for you, for sure. Okay, so for bronzers, I've had a revelation this year that cream bronzing is better. It's just better. Maybe it's just for me, but I have used it on a lot of clients and a lot of photo shoots, and I just like the finish better. I think that for all of the area that you have the most peach fuzz and just kind of, you're just caking on that area, and if you can use a different texture that's not a powder, because you're going to use powder highlight or powder blush, and that's great, that's fine. But if you can use, for the majority of your face, you're contouring and bronzing here, here, and here, and your ears, hopefully. And to use so much powder, sometimes it just doesn't work. So I had started using cream bronzer when I bought the Perricone MD No Bronzer, and I loved the finish. I love that bronzer. It's very expensive and it doesn't work on all skin tones, but it worked for me. And then I was like, oh, okay, I like liquid or cream bronzers. This works for my skin. I have a lot of scarring from acne on my cheeks specifically, so I don't love building up a lot of makeup on there. And I think that when I use liquid, I don't notice a lot of my scars, and that's just, you know, fantastic. So if you have texture, try out cream. However, it really would only work on a day-to-day basis for people who don't have oily skin. I think for normal skin it's fine. Combination, you can get away with it. You can just have it specifically placed. Dry skin, it's really where it's at. So after I used the Perricone MD, I lost it, and I think I just lost my makeup bag, which was devastating. But anyway, moving on. I picked up the Hourglass, rest in peace to my Hourglass palette, but this lasted me a really long time, and I really like it because it has a 3-part to it. So I don't think you can see this, but this was the bronzer. That doesn't live anymore, that's dead. And this is the cream blush, which is nice, but it's a bit too pink for me. I wish it was a little more terracotta. I would love it if it was more terracotta. And then this is the highlighter that I absolutely live for. I'll talk about it later. But the bronzer was the first time I was like, this is perfect. This cream consistency is just so good. So I recommend this palette. It is expensive, but it's really worth it because I used it on vacation. I used it in the summer. I used it in the spring and fall and winter. And the actual formula of the bronzer isn't that heavy and it's not that dark. So you can really blend it out, and that's what I like. It's just great. I just love it. I'm just saying. I love this. Clearly, it was so loved. I'm going to get another one when I finish the highlighter because I'm not trying to be wasting my money. And this is $85. This is very expensive. So then after I ran out of that, I thought I'd try something else rather than getting a new palette. And I found the Nars Liquid Laguna Bronzer, and I'm obsessed with this. It does have a little bit of a sheen. It does have a tiny bit of glitter. But I'm wearing it right now, and if you can see, it's just gorgeous. I really love this. I think that it's just great. There's nothing more I can say that I just love this. Cream liquid bronzers were the best find of my year, 100%. It changed my makeup routine so immensely just because I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, it really doesn't look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup, and it doesn't look powdery, it doesn't look layery, it looks like skin and it looks fresh. And I'm right now in the middle of the most miserable winter in the world, and this just makes me feel better. It just makes me feel better. I don't know. So with that said, the powder bronzer that I really really just keep using and love if I feel like I really need to set it. So the thing is about cream bronzers is you want to set them if you're like going out and sweating or going out and dancing or just going out and drinking, whatever. And for that I use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. They have a few different shades, not a lot of them, and I wish that they had more, of course. That's just the problem with the makeup industry, 100%. But this is the light bronzer, and it's winter now, so I use this when I'm embracing my paleness. And then there's the original bronzer, and I think there's a dark bronzer. But I just love this because you can't look cakey with this. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bronzer. It's a beautiful texture. It blends out like a dream, and it has the smell of coconuts, and it's really good. And you can't break it. It's very durable. Like I drop this all the time and it never breaks. I will move on to highlighters, and I'm gonna just bring it right back to that Hourglass palette. Hands down, this highlighter in this palette is my favorite highlighter of the year. It's so nice. It's so nice on my skin. It just makes you beam, but it's not blinding to the point where you're like, wow, that's a lot. Like it's not something, it's for the daytime. I will use it as a base for going out, but I'll use it every day, and I love it. And it lasts a long time, and it has the most beautiful, I guess I can swatch it. You can't really see that, but it's just amazing. It's just amazing. I really have loved this product so much. It's like the whole year, it's just been my go-to. It's dead now. I'm gonna get another one, but for now, that's its carcass. So for powder highlights, so the most recent one that I found that I just keep picking up, I'm wearing it right now, it's gorgeous, is the Fenty Beauty one. This is the Hustla Baby and Mean Money Killawatt. And this one here is so nice. Can you see that? It's just so nice. I love it in the inner corner. I especially like it for my brow bone, the top of my brow bone. And I like it for my cupid's bow and my nose, but I also just love it on my actual cheeks. I use it on a lot of people, and it actually works. There's a bit of glitter in there, but it's quite refined. And the color is more of like a champagne-y color, and it's beautiful. It's blinding. It has a buttery texture, and look how pretty it is. Can you see? It's just gorgeous. I love it. The one that I've been wearing all year for the most blinding highlight I can possibly have is by Jouer. This is called Citrine, and it has pros and cons to it. It breaks, okay? It was broken when it came in the mail. It broke again. I fixed it with, alcohol and a toonie. It broke again, and I can't even open it. I'll open it, but like you can see, it's pretty much gone. And I just use like the remnants of it. But as far as the most blinding highlight I've ever used, this is it. Swatch that. Can you see that? Apparently they changed the formula. I'm gonna order a new one and see if it's the same, but apparently it's not. So, oh well, what are you gonna do? So that's it for highlighters. So next what I would do is put on a blush. I have 3 blushes here. 2 are cream. First one is the Glossier Cloud Paint in Dusk. I like this when I want the look of a little bit more bronzer. It's a beautiful formula, and I'm gonna buy more of these because I really like these. And then for powder blush, I would have to say Nars Madly is my favorite powder blush. It goes with every look. It's really pretty. It's really nice in the winter. I used to use it a lot more in the beginning of the year. And lastly, the thing I use every day, I'm wearing it right now, I just love it, is the Bite Beauty Multi-Stick in Almond. I did just get this, but I really love it. It's so good. It's really dark when you swatch it, but if you blend it out, you can see it's just like a kind of terracotta rose. Really nice. It doesn't have any shine to it, and I just kind of put it on my finger and then I blend it out with a beauty blender, and it's perfect. It's exactly what I want. I love it. For eyeshadow palettes, I have 3 here. I have the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette because it's just always there when I need it, and for any shoot, any job, I know doesn't matter what the girl wants, she can get what she wants with this palette because I have every color at my fingertips. I think she did a really good job with the color selection, and this is a great palette if you're a makeup artist, if you're just starting out, if you just want that like all-in-one eyeshadow palette, this is definitely it. Look at these. Those are some swatches. Beautiful. Love it. That's by Morphe. Then my next one is also by Morphe, and this has to be my favorite palette I've owned all year, simply because I just use it every day. And I will say that there's just one shade in here that works for my skin tone the best. I have never found such a good transition color, and that is going to be, you guessed it, the Kathleen Lights Morphe palette. And it has one color in here specifically that is the perfect transition shade for every look I've ever done. And every time I use something else, I just think it's not good enough, and I go to this shade and I'm like, yes, this is what I want. I'm wearing this whole palette right now. I'm wearing this in my transition, as my transition shade, this on my lid, and this kind of just blended out. I really like this color as well. And I really like the shimmers, and you've got some good purples in there, which I don't really touch, but in terms of the warm tones, and really just this color, just what I've reached for every day for an entire year, and that's what we're doing this video for. And this is hands down my favorite eyeshadow palette of the year. Hopefully I can find a new one because I'm going to run out of this and I don't know how to repurchase it because it's from a limited edition palette. It's just one of those things. Everybody has their favorite shades that they just like to start with, and that one is mine. That's it for eyeshadow palettes. For eyeshadow, I have 2. I have a cream eyeshadow by Revlon. I do not own the Stila glitters, so I guarantee you if I had them, I would put them right now. But this from Revlon, I recently did buy, but I really like it. I think it's gorgeous, and I've used it. I've used it enough to know that I like it. It's so nice. I'm going to swatch it for you. This one is in the color Peach Prism. And I like this because it's not glittery, but then you have a glitter option. So that's the first, look at that. That's from Revlon. That's gorgeous. And then you have the option on the other end for a glitter, and they're liquids. You don't need glitter glue. You don't need to, there's no mess, which is nice. I hate glitter messes. And you can put one on top of the other, or you can just use them on their own. And I really like this. I want to get more colors in this. I like the formula, the consistency, and the longevity. I wore this on New Year's actually, and it was perfect. It lasted all night. I didn't have to reapply at all. And it dried down really nicely, so I really like that. And then the other thing that I have for eyeshadow is the Makeup Forever Starlit powder in Iridescent Pearl. Oh, this is insane. This is just one of those products that if you feel like, my eyeshadow doesn't have enough oomph, or I need that like pow and that shine, just like a highlighter when you're like, that's not shiny enough, this will do it. This is probably the most ridiculous, most beautiful eyeshadow I've ever used on the lid because it just has a consistency that it just shines from very far away. Whoops. Can you see that? It's right there. It's beautiful. I love it. That's all for eyeshadows. My favorite mascara of the year is Essence Lash Princess. If you haven't used this, pick it up and try it. It's the best. It's $4.99 and you cannot dislike this. I guarantee you, you just can't. And then for brows, I use the Benefit Kabrow in number 3. This is my favorite eyebrow product I've ever used. It also has a brush with it, which is so convenient, and it's actually a good brush. I use it every day. And then for brow gel, I use Essence Make Me Brow. I've put lots of people onto this because it is so similar to the Benefits Make Me Brow, but it's so much cheaper. It's like $3.99, and I run through these. I'm wearing it right now. It's what I use every single day. I've probably used this for like 2.5 years, and I stand by it. I love it. It's great. Okay, so for lips, I don't wear lipstick that often, so I don't have too much, but I do have a bit. I do have a little bit to share because, you know, sometimes I do wear lipstick. I'll start with lip liners. My two go-tos are MAC Subculture and Annabelle Spice. Annabelle is a Canadian company. Can't always find that. You can probably find it online, but they're both just really neutral. Subculture is the closest to my skin color, and I just wear them all the time. So those are in my favorites for sure. And in terms of lipsticks, I don't have any favorite liquid lipsticks because I don't love liquid lipsticks. I really just don't wear lipstick that much, but when I do, I'll wear these three nudes. This is ColourPop Matte X Lippy in She Bad, which is really nude, and it's actually almost done because I've used it so much. It's really, really nude. That one's that there. And then this one is Beige Babe by Maybelline. I like this one. I don't use a lot of it, and it's a bit pinky, but I still really, really like it. And it's affordable from the drugstore. That one's that one. And then this one is Beige Babe by Maybelline. I like this one. I don't use a lot of it, and it's a bit pinky, but I still really, really like it. And it's affordable from the drugstore. That one's that one. But my definite number one is the Katie X Desi Dose of Colors collaboration in No Shade. I know I just got this, but I don't even care. It's the best ever. It actually is my favorite. It's a true nude. It really just is a true nude, and that's that one there. So yeah, I actually have lipsticks as favorite lipsticks, not liquid lipsticks. But my favorite red is a liquid lipstick. It's by Jouer, and it is called Brick. It's the only red that I'll wear. I'll put all my other reds on other people and they're fine, but this is the only one that I'll actually wear. And it's a darker red. It has a bit more blue than orange, and I just love it. And then finally for lip gloss, I only have one, and that is the Fenty Beauty Universal Lip Fenty, what is it called? Gloss Bomb. I just love any product that will work for any makeup look, and that is to me the Gloss Bomb. I love it. Fenty Beauty just rocks. So the last thing I will talk about is setting my makeup, and I always set my makeup with a setting spray, and that is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is old news. Everybody's been using this for years, and that is because it works. You can sweat, you can dance, you can be in a sauna, you can go to the gym. This stuff will give you the best chance you have to make your makeup last. So that's it. That is all I have to say about everything I've used and loved all year. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back soon. I love you all, and yeah, thanks for watching.